Okay.
Is it not working?
It's working now. I have to press go live in YouTube Studio.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking annoying. All right, so we are live. I apologize.
Alright, hello, have fun.
Yeah, so let me explain what the hell I just did. So apparently, I just found out that to go live, you have to fucking press the go live button on YouTube Studio. You can't just set everything up on OBS and YouTube Studio. No, and then you have to go back into YouTube Studio and then go ahead and settle up there. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to show you what the hell just happened, because we just lost somebody. Where the hell is he? Where is he? Let me show you what happened to this man. Where is he? So this man right here. He went flying into the catch fence. Watch this. So this is what happened to bring us up to this first caution of the race. On the outside is Jack Wills, and just flying into the air goes Wesley. And that car is torn to pieces. So now that you've gotten all that understood, I do believe that we are going back green this time by. So, welcome one and all to the GGR Circle K Indy 500. I apologize for the issues. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Thank goodness he is not paying for any of this. So with that being said, let's head back green. AJ Hyder on the pole spot here. Coming back to the restart, he will have full control. And he's out and away and gone from Barone. A huge gap between first and second. And Connor Trafari is on the hunt for second. Down to turn one, Trafari on the outside of Barone, side by side, wheel to wheel into turn one. Barone's gonna have the advantage going through two. Trafari with the advantage on the outside with that momentum. They'll be even coming out of the corner, coming towards the back straightaway with White and Martin right behind. We're going three wide down the back straightaway. Garrett A. White through the middle from fourth to second. An incredible move from Garrett. And nearly contact between Barone and Trafari. Trafari all over the back of Garrett. Now Connor Trafari to the outside of White as they come out of turn four. AJ Hyder with full control. Connor to the inside of White as we come across the start-finish line. Now it's going to be through the middle goes Barone as we head towards turn one. Trafari shutting the door on Garrett White. Garrett White might look low. He's going to look high instead. And now White makes a jerk to the left, side by side, wheel to wheel down the back between Trafari and White, allowing Hyder to pull away. Barone trying to find his way through with Martin watching on. Garrett A. White in second place now, Trafari in third, single file throughout your top 10. But the runs are coming. Here comes the next move. Connor Trafari to the inside. Barone's going to have a run of his own. Are we going to have some three-wide action? Down to one. Barone's going to say yes. Three wide for a second. Down to turn one. Garrett A. White out of the groove. Carrying the momentum out of turn one. Heading towards turn two. Martin looking for a move now. Barone for fourth. And right behind Martin is Ethan Harrison. Followed by Ethan Workman. Here comes Harrison and Workman. Double file, 2x2, down to turn three. And Barone is falling off a cliff from second down to fifth as Martin makes the pass and shuts the door. Next up is Ethan Harrison, followed by Ethan Workman. Here come the next runs here. Barone's gonna have a shot at him. Looking left, looking right, chooses left. Heading towards turn one, trying to get back at Martin. And Barone just doesn't have the grip on those front wheel right now. He has to back out of it. A big lip coming out of turn one, all in that turbulent air. Now it's going to be Martin's turn to go after Garrett A. White. Here we go. Right behind him, Ethan Workman around the outside on Ethan Harrison. Ethan Harrison has nothing he can do. Has to surrender the spot to Ethan Workman. In the wall, up ahead. And that's a huge hit for the 86 of Martin. Possible damage on his car, and he's falling back. Here goes Ethan Workman looking low, side by side, down to one. Inches apart, possible damage there on the 86. He's falling like a rock. Ethan Harrison now shoving the nose down to the inside through turn two. A catastrophic failure there for Martin as we have a caution on the speedway. Let's see if we can find the origin of this accident. Is it the 34 possibly? And it is. That is the 34 going around And that is Henry Clapper. Same exact thing that we saw with that first accident, hitting the wall, coming out of turn one, an atrocious hit into the inside retaining barrier. Ricocheting back up the track, a close call for the 66. And that's an awful way for Henry's night to end. Slamming into the wall. Let's take one more look at that. And as this run goes on, I mean, the tires just start falling away. You start to lose front grip. You have to start to lift. That's what we saw after that restart, where people really starting to back it down, trying to save their stuff, fuel, tires, all that fun stuff. And Henry just wasn't able to keep that car under control. So under that first caution, everyone came in for tires to top off on gas. What will we see in this attempt here? Again, 125 laps. Fuel is so important in this race, trying to make it as long as possible while stopping the least is a big part in what makes winning this race so difficult. We'll see if Hyder brings him down pit road once again. And he's going to choose not to. Ethan Harrison's going to come in, and a lot of guys coming in. That's going to be Barone coming in. Ethan Harrison chooses last second to stay out. Martin's going to come in and check that damage from hitting the wall. And pretty much the back half of the field here, about 50-50, are going to be coming in versus staying out. That's going to be a huge shuffle of our leading contenders. And that's going to cause Barone to go all the way to the rear. He has some work to do if he wants to get back up to the front after leading early in this race. Barone is first off pit road, followed by Martin. The 80 of Shady comes out in third. And Hyder has had a complete control over the field so far in this race. Was able to hold off every attack from Barone. Was able to pull away from the draft on that last restart. But now AJ has a very familiar foe behind him, and that is Connor Trafari. And we know anything about Connor. Connor is not going to let Hyder get away. This is going to be a really exciting restart. Garrett A. White in third, Ethan Workman in fourth, Ethan Harrison rounding out the top five, followed by Aiden Smith in sixth. Pravin Vijayakumar is in seventh, followed by Bradley Sawinski. Barone, first one on fresh tires and a splash of Shell Racing fuel. He is going to be in ninth on this restart, followed by Larry Miles. Looking through the first couple laps here, it was very interesting to see just how close you could stay behind another car, especially compared to the modern Indy car. This one is a lot more versatile in dirty air and really allows for racing to happen all throughout the pack. But it's not an easy car by any chance, especially into turn one. We've seen two accidents, two horrific accidents down into turn one with cars losing the front end and hitting the wall. So even if it's a versatile car, it definitely takes an art to master. As AJ's gonna punch up the field here for another single file restart. Watch what he's gonna do here. He's gonna wait until a moment where Trafari least expects it to go. It's gonna be all about Trafari figuring out when does he go and how can I match it. Wait for it as the pace truck makes the end down pit road, and we are green. Back here at Indy.
Green flag, green flag.
And a decent jump from Hyder, but Connor read it very well. He might have a shot at it. Down the backstretch, Ethan Workman all over the back of Garrett A. White. Connor has a good bite through turn 1. If he can keep it safe through 2, he's gonna have a shot. All over the rear wing, to the left, side by side, coming out of turn 2. Connor Trafari and AJ Hyder battling for the lead. And Connor's gonna stick right behind Hyder. The fuel games are gonna start right now. Side by side, Ethan Harrison and Aiden Smith. Aiden Smith around the outside on Ethan Harrison for 5th place. Ethan Workman made the pass on Garrett A. White. And here comes Connor Trafari for the lead. Trafari with the edge, down to turn 1, he'll take the lead over AJ Hyder, right behind. Garrett A. White holds on to 3rd as Aiden Smith attacks Ethan Workman for 4th. Hyder's got another fight here, coming out of turn 2, here comes the slingshot. And to the left, Connor leaves the door open, AJ's gonna take it, side by side, and to the lead back goes Hyder, while Ethan Workman makes his charge up to 3rd. Watch out in that turbulent air. It might feel safe, but those tires are screaming for grip when you get in it, as Connor's inches away from the wall. Here comes Connor's charge again, to the bottom. Once again, side by side, lap after lap, back and forth. Connor Trafari back to the lead. Garrett A. White holding on the 3rd now, but Ethan Workman's gonna have a shot here, coming out of turn 2. As Hyder's gonna have the run down the back, Connor's not doing any snaking. Here comes Hyder back to the bottom for the lead, and he's gonna take it. Ethan Workman takes back 3rd from Garrett A. White, while Ethan Harrison falls back with a loose race car. And after a couple of laps, once these guys start spreading out, passing does become a little bit more difficult. But while they're packed up, we get incredible action like this. Connor Trafari once again down into turn 1, but we already know what's going to happen, don't we? Hyder's going to come back with a charge coming out of turn 2. Hyder with the run down the back. Here he comes. Again, Connor's going to leave that door open. You see what they're doing? They're slingshotting each other so they can pull away from Ethan Workman, who right now runs in 3rd. Connor's gonna have to run once again. Just gotta be careful of that turbulent air, keeping it off the wall. As long as he can do that, he'll be just fine. Here comes Connor back to the bottom for the lead. Same move, different lap. Connor Trafari with the dive down into turn 1, while Garrett A. White makes the move for 3rd, past Ethan Workman. Garrett A. White right now in 3rd. Here comes Ethan Workman trying to take that spot back into turn 3. He's got it, while AJ Hyder takes back the lead from Connor Trafari. You're really starting to see how wide they're going coming out of turn 4 when it comes to that turbulent air, but it's not affecting them too much. Connor's going to choose to back off this time. The fuel games have really begun now. Ethan Workman with a great run right now in 3rd place, followed by Garrett A. White in 4th. Aiden Smith right now runs inside the top 5. And right behind him is Ethan Harrison, followed by Pravin Vijaykumar in 7th. Bradley Sawinski right now runs in 8th. In 9th place is Brandon Thomas, and that's going to be Barone. Remember, he came down pit road, has not made much progress. He is right now sitting in 10th. The thing with Barone is that because he stopped when everyone else that didn't stop under that last caution comes down pit road, he will retain the lead, but he's losing a lot of time in all this turbulent air. And everyone's starting to spread out a little bit. The tires are beginning to crank. The tires are beginning to scream for grip, especially in the dirty air. A blink like that from Hyder will help Connor, though, for sure. He might even have a shot at him coming into turn 1. Here comes Connor. Will he make a dive, or will he continue to save his stuff? To the inside goes Connor Trafari. Down into turn 1. That's his favorite place on the whole track. And he's going to take the lead, but Hyder will surely have a charge at him down the back with those superior tires. Hyder continuing to struggle with internet issues, but he's persevering. Will he make a last-minute lunge? He's looking, but he's going to choose not to. He's going to back off and give Connor the spot into turn 3. And with that, Connor takes the lead. He's able to hold it for the whole lap. But Hyder's going to have a shot at him coming down this front straightaway. Will he choose the charge? Hyder is now going to use him as a pick to save fuel. If you're Connor, you probably don't want to be in this kind of position. Just look how much lower Hyder's going. Hyder's going to make that move to the inside. Watch out for Ethan Workman. He has pulled away from Garrett A. White, and he's closing in on the top 2. Remember, he's been in that clean air the entire time. He has not had to deal with graining on his tires, getting tight, none of that. But although that will start to change as he gets closer, the more that they battle, the better it becomes for Ethan. Here comes Connor. Connor once again, for what feels like the 10th time already, Connor takes the lead with a dive into turn 1. As we are 5th through this race, Connor Trafari and AJ Hyder have been trading the lead back and forth, but Ethan Workman is closing in on the top 2 for the race lead. And he's here now. We're about to have a 3-man dance for the lead. Ethan Workman's here. And oh my goodness, almost hit the wall. Looked like he had to lift there a little bit. You can definitely tell if the dirty air got to him. Hyder trying to set up a move here, coming out of turn 2. Here he comes. He's got the run. Will he make the dive? No, he chooses to stay back and save. If I'm Hyder right now, just be a little wary of Ethan Workman. If you choose to lift at the wrong moment, Ethan will strike. We've seen a lot of aggressive driving already from him, from his battle against Garrett A. White. Again, Hyder is playing the fuel game right now, choosing the lift instead of attacking. Workman is right now running a higher line, trying to find some clean air on the nose. But it seems like right now everyone's a bit stalled except for the leader. That's where we have our action right now, but Hyder's just using Connor as a pick. Going through some of the rest of the field here, no big changes so far within our top 10. The only difference is that Barone continues to fall. Shady passed him for a top 10 spot. But Barone might have a shot at him here going towards turn 1. Barone's making a look. And it looks like that Haley might have a shot at him. That's Quentin Haley to be exact. All over the back of Barone. Barone is falling off a cliff in the dirty air. As we reach lap 30 here in this race, $100 for the winner. And Hyder wants it, but he's going to choose to be patient still. I imagine that's what we're going to see here for this run, and that's putting Connor in a horrific position, to say the least, because he really can't afford to lift, because he knows Hyder's just going to lift too. Single file throughout most of our field. Everyone getting the draft of one another. This is where the action's getting crazy. Quentin Haley all over the back of Barone. It looks like Shady has a little bit of a loose race car right now and is forcing everyone to check up. Barone might have a shot at him. Here he comes. Clean air is good. To the inside goes Barone for 10th on Shady. Down to turn 1, they'll be wheel to wheel. Shady's not giving in. Shady trying to whip it around the outside. Barone trying to charge on the bottom. And that's just how difficult it's becoming to pass here in the later stages of the race. Shady holds off to Barone around the outside. Barone back down to the bottom. Wheel to wheel into turn 3. Barone trying to shove the issue, giving Shady a little bit of room. And into turn 4, Barone should be clear. Shut the door. Barone goes up into 10th place. But now Shady's got him a run, and so will Quinn Haley. Here we go. Haley will back out of it. Shady back down to the bottom. Barone's not going to give him much lift either. And once again, through turn 1, a little bit of contact between Quinn Haley and Shady as they go through the middle of turns 1 and 2. I think Quinn Haley will get away with that, but close quarters racing for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Back up to the front. Anything has changed? No. It's Connor Trafari leading over AJ Hyder, who's saving. Ethan Workman has not put in a real attempt to pass Hyder yet. He might be in a similar spot where he's just saving. And to the inside, big dive. Quinn Haley being passed right there by Dimitri Mundros. He's got to shut that door into turn 2. Quinn Haley beginning to fall back. Next target is going to be Martin. And pit stops. Into the pits comes race leader Connor Trafari. Again, he was not able to save any fuel at all. And because of that, because Hyder really put him in that spot, he is now going to be at a huge deficit. Also in the pit lane is Aiden Smith from 5th place. And that will give the lead to AJ Hyder. As he comes out of turn 4, it's his turn to pit along. I thought Ethan Workman was going to make the last minute ditch, but no. He's going to come in along with Garrett A. White. And the majority of the field is going to continue to stay out. Ethan Harrison is also in. That will put Vijay Kumar up into 2nd place, followed by Bradley Sawinski now in 3rd. Let's see how long Ethan Workman continues to stay out here. I can't imagine too long. The longer the better, as I always say, but not for the reason that you think. As Ethan Workman makes the left-hand turn onto pit road. And a bit of a lockup coming in, almost spun the thing out, but he's going to hold on to it. And now to the lead goes Pravin Vijaykumar. And the deeper in the field that you get, the more fuel that's probably been saved due to all that turbulent air, all that off throttle time. Probably not even from choice, in all honesty. And that turns out to be a big advantage. The only thing is now, how can you use this advantage to your advantage of traversing through slower traffic? We still have about 10 cars that have not stopped. AJ Hyder right now runs in 17th place. So not even that, nearly 15 cars have not stopped, and they continue to not stop. All those guys that stayed out under that last caution are now paying the price. Right now, the order is as follows. Pravin Vijaykumar leads this race, followed by Bradley Sawinski. Barone now finds himself in 3rd place, followed by Shady. Hey, we have a spin, turn 2. And into the, oh, he's heading for the wall. Into the guardrail. And that is Robert Eckleberry into the pit lane. We will stay green, but Robert Eckleberry's race is done. And let's take a look. He has already exited the session. Let's find out what happened to him. And I think it's going to be the same thing. Yep, knew it. He hit the wall, and he broke something on the car and ended up going around. Let's get a better view of that. And I mean, same thing in turn 1. 3rd wreck of the night coming into turn 1, and oh, that hit it. That second hit absolutely did it. And around he goes. I almost thought he had it safe, and he did have it safe for just a second, but then he overcorrected the car. And around he goes into the wall. Probably not too bad of damage, but just enough to where you might as well just hang it up. Unfortunate stuff there for Robert Eckelberry. He is now out of the race. As now Bajakumar and Sawinski are in. Barone takes the lead of the race. Shady now runs second. Will Barone's strategy work out? He was stuck in turbulent air and traffic for that entire run, and now he finally has some clean air. Shady in second, Quinn Haley in third, Dimitri Mundros fourth, followed by Martin and then Larry Miles in sixth. And where can we find AJ Hyder? We have found him along with Connor Trafari. Trafari with the dive to the inside for what will be the net lead once Strategy B comes in.
All right, man.
Caution's out of the speedway. That is not what AJ Hyder and Connor Trafari wanted to see. Try to see if we can find it here. Was it the 5? It was the 5. Oh, contact coming into the pit lane. Here's what happened. That's Brazen Collins right there into the wall. First wreck in turn 4, bounced off it and tore the car to pieces. A horrific wreck there for Brazen Collins. And that's going to end his night and put us under caution. Let's go on board with him. Ooh, I see what happened. He missed his corner entry, and he ended up just tearing the whole car apart. Turned in way too early. Jerked the wheel a little bit to the right to try to avoid hitting the apron. And that is all that she wrote. Pace car's picking up the field, and that is exactly what you wanted to see if you were Barone. A caution is going to put him back in the lead. Presumably, everyone's going to come back in and top off, if I had to guess. You don't want to be at a disadvantage. But we'll see here if Hyder and Connor choose track position over fuel strategy. But you're essentially getting your free pit stop, and there it is. Everyone's into the pits. Except for one. Ethan Workman, Pravin Vijaykumar are going to stay out on the racetrack along with the 4 car of Chase Gibbons. But I do believe Gibbons is a lap car. No, is he? Yeah, I do believe, yeah, Chase Gibbons is a lap down, so he will get his lap back. But Ethan Workman is going to take the lead of this race. Pravin Vijaykumar stays out as well, along with the 21 of Madram, sorry. So these 3 all pitted a little bit earlier on the race, and now they're going to try to jump with track position, be at a deficit later. When it comes to Pravin, I understand. Now, well, actually, no. Yeah, I understand what Pravin and Workman are trying to do here. So they'll get that track position. They'll have control of the race. You can see first one off pit road. Right over there. That's going to be Barone. Actually, wait, I apologize. I might have had this all wrong. Are they all lap down? Well, I am... No, hold on. What the fuck? Okay, so the ticker's being weird. Alright, so I was right. I'm not a dumb man. We'll get the one to go this time by. Chase Gibbons will be able to go around and get his lap back. through these cameras. I'm the most autistic motherfucker that you will ever meet, dude. Just going through all these cameras. Alright, well, we're going to be bringing it back green here. On lap 44, Ethan Workman will be leading, followed by Pravin Vijaykumar and Madron in third, followed by Barone, Shady, Quentin Haley, Ethan Harrison, and Martin. Then Dimitri Mundros and Acevedo will be rounding out the top 10. For reference, Connor Trafari, who was leading the race before all the pit strategy started going off, is back in 11th. And AJ Hyder's back in 13th. So Connor and AJ have a lot of work to do if they want to get back up to the front. And Ethan Workman's going to settle everyone up against the wall. We'll see if everyone follows suit. You can see Madron's choosing to run a little bit of a lower line. And the big thing about that is that you don't want to give someone that outside line. You do not get a penalty if you make a pass on someone before the start-finish line, as long as it's on the outside line. And look what Vijaykumar's doing. Vijaykumar's trying to predict the jump. And there goes Ethan Workman. We have a crash on the back. The 66 is in the wall. That is Voss in the 66 who's hit the fence. Possible damage on his car, but we're back underway. And I don't know what Vijaykumar was really doing, as here comes Barone with a late dive into turn 2. He's sliding up the racetrack, really close stop. Madron's gonna make it 3 wide down the back. Who will lift? Who will give? Madron's not. Going down to turn 3. Almost contact between Vijaykumar and Madron as they go through the corner. Now here comes Shady, and here comes Quentin Haley and Ethan Harrison too. And that was a horrific restart from beginning to end for Pravin Vijaykumar as Ethan Harrison makes it 3. Here comes that 80 car. That's Martin trying to make it 4. Ethan Harrison into the grass, down to turn 1. Around the outside goes Martin. Contact between Ethan Harrison and Martin as they head towards turn 2. Almost contact again between Harrison and Martin as he tried to shut the door down the back. They'll be wheel to wheel, side by side, as we have the bound for the lead. Madron going to the outside on Barone. That's for second. I apologize as Workman is far, far away. The bound for second is off between Barone and Madron, with Shady watching on in 4th. Shutting the door will be Barone. There goes Shady looking to the left, and that's going to be Madron staying in line. Shady trying to get 2 and 1 with the dive down to turn 1. Barone carries the momentum around the outside to hold on to second. Shady with a good run though to third. Madron down to 4th. In 5th place right now. No way. That is Vijaykumar holding on to 5th. And then we have a clobber of cars going on for 6th right behind. This is extremely dangerous quarters here with Connor, Trafari, and Hyder trying to make their way through. Trafari around the outside. 3 wide in turn 3. Inches apart. Connor Trafari with a horrendous move. Contact. And there goes the 86 there. That is the 86. Going into the, almost into the inside wall, that is Martin. Going to the inside is the 92. Hyder around the outside. Garrett A. White was the car on the inside in the 92. Now side by side with Hyder as they traverse traffic. Trafari trying to get around Blinker around the outside. And while all that's going on, Ethan Workman is far, far away from all of this action in the back. That is Trafari trying to get around Moondros. Trafari gets around Moondros. Now it's going to be next up. That is going to be Garrett A. White to the inside. That is on Acevedo for 10th place with AJ Hyder watching on. Hyder makes it 3 wide. Desperation setting in as Trafari gets away. Hyder to the bottom. Garrett A. White shuts the door. A really close quarter stuff there between AJ Hyder and Garrett A. White. Acevedo trying to get around Hyder, but he had to shut the door. Here comes Trafari, now to the inside, Ethan Harrison. Trafori with some spectacular moves through the field. He has moved from 11th to 8th. It seems like now they've settled down just a little bit. Hyder trying to go to the inside there on Garrett A. White, continuing to try to get past him for position. And he'll get that move down into turn 1. Next up is going to be Dimitri Mundros. And he's going to have a really good bite out of turn 2. To the inside goes Hyder on Mundros. Mundros using the toe from Harrison to stay ahead. And he's going to shut the door into turn 3, feeding him all that dirty air. Here comes Garrett A. White with a comeback. And Ethan Harrison is holding up everybody. Up ahead, Trafori making the move to the outside. That's on Quinn Haley. And that is going to be for 6th place. Connor Trafori gets the move done. The only problem now for Trafori is that he has no toe. He's trying to follow the toe of the people ahead of him, but it is a far gap between himself and Pravin Vijaykumar for a top 5 spot. Just enough to where Quinton could make a comeback if Connor doesn't get his corners right. Right behind him, Hyder to the inside on Ethan Harrison, while Dimitri Mundros passed him for position. Ethan Harrison struggling to hold the bottom. That's going to open the door for Hyder. And that is going to be right ahead of him. Dimitri Mundros trying to give him a hand. Side by side down to turn 1. Garrett A. White right behind Hyder. Inches apart between Ethan Harrison and AJ Hyder as they head towards turn 2. Hyder's going to shut that door. Ethan Harrison's going to have to run down the back, looking left, looking right. Harrison's going to stay in line. Not Garrett A. White, though. He's going to dive to the inside. Trying to get around AJ Hyder. 2 contact! There goes Hyder going around. Ethan Harrison into the fence. Along with Bradley Sawinski. More contact as more cars pile in. And AJ Hyder, who was up front at the beginning of this race, goes around a huge accident that was begging to happen. As Chase Gibbons gets involved in it as well. More cars getting in it. That's the 20 of Cam getting involved in it as well. And a lot of damage. A destroyed front toe there for AJ Hyder. It's over. He's going around into the wall. It's over. Along with Chase Gibbons, he's going around too. Can't control the car. And for AJ Hyder, it is over. After leading the first half, trying to charge through the field. Remember what happened earlier between himself and Garrett A. White. Watch this. Remember what happened between him and Garrett A. White on that restart. Garrett A. White shut that door last second, nearly made contact. Hyder tried to pull the same move. And I hate to say it, but I think he turned himself. It was just a little too close. Bradley Sawinski just runs through Ethan Harrison. A wheel goes flying. And Came and another car are going to come flying in. I believe the other one is Chase Gibbons going into the wreck as well. And it's a complete blockade here in turn 3. Let's get another look. Yeah, I hate to say it, but he kind of turned himself. And yeah, I think that is Cam that just ran straight through Chase Gibbons. Chase Gibbons looked fine. Maybe a damaged front wing, but then he ended up wrecking himself afterward. And Hyder tries to get away. And you can just see he has no control of that car. It's all over the place. And then right here, it's going to snap on him. When he tries to hit the brakes, hard to the wall. When it comes to pit stops, here's what we got. Pit road, Ethan Workman comes down pit road, surrenders the lead. Along with Pravin Vijaykumar and Larry Miles. And that's going to give the lead over, or at least back over, to Barone. So Barone continuing to make the pit strategy work. Now he's got to hold up Madron here on this restart along with Shady. And now Connor Trafari, who on the last restart was in 11th. Now he sits in 4th. And as we approach halfway here in this race, a big player in AJ Hyder is now out of the race. And that has opened the door wide open. I said open the door wide open. Oh my goodness. That's how you know. If I start, my wordplay starts messing up, that's how you know things are getting crazy. Looking through the rest of the top 10, Acevedo is right now sitting in 5th. Aiden Smith's in 6th, followed by Ethan Workman. First one that stopped under this previous caution. He's going to be in 7th, followed by Quentin Haley, Pravin Vijaykumar, and Larry Miles, rounding out the top 10. We have 15 cars right now on the lead lap, the last one being Foss. Bradley Sawinski is on track, but one lap down. He's trying to get his lap back. And each time we go back at it, the intensity is only going to continue to pick up, especially in the midfield where everyone's getting backed up. That's where you're going to see all the chaos begin to unfold. And remember, everyone, that this race is sponsored by Circle K. Remember, you come over to Circle K for 99 Polar Pops, 99 Frosters. Everything when it comes to our fountain machines and our Froster machines, any size. 99 cents. It's a deal that you simply cannot refuse. You won't find it anywhere else. So make sure to pick up our 10-cent cards while you're there to save a little bit on your gas on the way out. With that being said, let's go ahead and bring that pace truck down pit road and let's get this back underway. Barone will lead him, and he is ahead very quickly over Madron and Shady. Immediately, Quentin Haley to the outside there on Ethan Workman. Connor Trafari trying to make quick work of Shady. Right behind him, Aiden Smith on Acevedo for 5th place. Down the back, here come the moves. Shady outside, and there goes Connor, 3 wide, down into turn 3 for the lead. Connor Trafari trying to make the 4-1 work. It won't work, but he might get one down at least as he tries to get around Madron for 3rd. He'll get around Madron as he sets his sights on Shady. Shady jerks to the left. Now Connor moves to the right. Side by side down the front straightaway, but Shady's going to have the toe as they head towards 1. Madron back to the inside of Connor, but Connor around the outside. An incredible move by Connor Trafari to move up the 2nd. An incredible restart from Connor Trafari. And there's one foe left, and that's Barone. And here comes the move. The charge to the inside. 11th and now to 1st for Connor Trafari. But it's not over. Look who is coming onto the scene. That's Ethan Workman. Restarted outside the top 5, and now he's in it. And into the wall hard goes Ethan Smith. Coming out of turn 4. Damage there on the 489 machine. Aiden Smith with damage, losing time as he gets passed by Vijaykumar. Now Garrett A. White comes up next. Connor beginning to stall here behind Barone. Will he use a similar strategy? Or maybe not. The snaking has begun by Barone as he tries to hold up the lead. But Trafari with the run. Will Barone have the run here to hold off Trafari? Trafari's going to be right there coming at him. Coming out of turn 4. The snaking continues to the left, to the right, trying to invite Connor low. He's going to invite Connor high. Connor Trafari to the outside, down to turn 1. And it looks like he might just make it stick. He has to run inches from the wall as we head towards turn 2. And Ethan Workman's here too. He's gone past Shady. And he's going for the lead. Here he comes. Connor Trafari takes the lead. Now he's snaking. Workman to the inside. They're on the 2nd place car of Barone as he tries to make a move for the lead. Down to turn 2 or turn 3. Ethan Workman with an incredible charge. He's now going to shut the door on Barone. Barone almost hitting the fence. Now it's Trafari versus Ethan Workman. Ethan Workman on the fresher tires. Connor under attack. As we head towards turn 1, Ethan Workman, Connor Trafari fighting for the lead. Ethan Workman has the fresher set of rubber to work with. He's going to have the runs. He's going to have the grip. Connor sees that. He is going all over the road trying to stop Ethan. Ethan's going to have to run inside into turn 3. And nothing Connor can do. Ethan Workman with an incredible restart from 9th to 1st in just a couple of laps. But now it's going to be his turn to snake as here comes Connor Trafari coming back at him from the left to the right. Connor Trafari to the outside trying to pitch Ethan down into turn 1. They're going to be even. No, coming out turn 1, it's going to be Ethan Workman shutting the door. And Connor just doesn't have the grip to work with at the moment. Ethan Workman with so much more to give, so much more to fight for. Connor Trafari is just a passenger at this point. I'm sure all that dirty air is nice to feel as well for Connor Trafari. A good turn 3, trying to hold it through turn 4. Very wide on the exit, inches from the wall. A few sparks, but it's going to allow Connor to be closer than ever. Ethan protecting the bottom. Connor back to the top. Side by side between Workman and Trafari as they go down into turn 1. Trafari holding it steady with that clean air. He has a shot to take back the lead as they exit turn 2, but Workman's got the advantage down the back. While all that's going on, that's going to be Quentin Haley moving up into 3rd. Almost contact between Shady and Madre as they fight for 4th. Continuing side by side for the race lead as they go through turns 3 and 4. Connor Trafari and Ethan Harrison putting on one of the best battles all day. And they're not done. For a whole lap, they've been side by side, and they're not done. They're going to charge down to turn 1 together. Neither of them letting in. Quinn Haley up the 3rd. This is a perfect opportunity for him to close in on this battle here for the lead. But he's got to find a 2nd and a 2/10 to make that happen. Connor Trafari with the run down the back, and Ethan Workman is going to get behind him. Connor Trafari back to the lead. But more than likely, that won't be for long. Ethan Workman has a much better car right now than Trafari. He can traverse that dirty air a lot better. Here comes the run. Connor's not going to bother to go ahead and snake. He's going to let him have the bottom. And Ethan Workman, all that work that Connor put in for nothing as Ethan Workman takes back the lead. And Connor, once again, inches from the wall. And I think this time, Ethan Workman will be able to keep it, at least for right now. Connor does not have the car capable to battle Workman for the lead, at least long term. Quentin Haley made a great charge to the field as he almost spun it, clipping the curve through turn 3. You want to get as low as possible, just not that low. That can get that car uneasy. Here comes Connor again with a good 3 and 4. He has a shot at him. Going down towards turn 1, Workman once again with the defensive line from the bottom to the top, holding off Connor. Right now, Shady holding on the 4th down the inside. Close quarters racing there. That is, I believe that is where, who is this? That is Acevedo in the 65 in 9th place. Almost had a close call there coming through turn 1. He holds on to the spot. And now, finally, things are beginning to settle down. I can rest my voice for once. Good Lord. As I say that, Connor with a good 3 and 4. Again, it seems like that's just his best place. He's not as good in 1 and 2, but he's a lot better in 3 and 4. But Connor is now going to use Ethan Workman as a pick. We saw during that last run, Connor was the first one to stop because he was not able to save any gas. Workman has the advantage of pitting under that last caution. So now he's going to have a bit of a advantage on fuel compared to Connor, so he can push as much as he wants. If Connor's not going to be able to fight against Workman on pace, he might as well use him as a pick. Right now, single file throughout our top 10 back to Larry Miles. Connor getting closer. Look how high he's going coming out of these corners. That is not good on the tires. The more that he's in that dirty air, the worse that's going to get. But let's look through our field here. In third place, Quentin Haley had been in the back for the entire first half of this race. He was struggling big time to compete. But with that restart, he came down pit road, topped off on gas, got 4 fresh Firestone tires, and he made some happen. And how about Shady as well? Shady was in the back, outside the top 10 when we went green. He was in that back pack with Barone when that first yellow came out. And with pit strategy, he was able to find himself battling for the lead, making 3 wide moves. And he sits in 4th, pretty comfortable spot. Same exact thing for Madrid. Not a great start for him here tonight. And that pit stop, that last caution really turned it around because it allowed him to go ahead, come down pit road, get himself a new set of tires, and really reset with track position. But JQMR was doing a pretty good job before that yellow came out. He was up there fighting for the lead. He's had a small setback since the drop of the green flag. And he right now stalls in 6th. Then we have Ryan Barone, who led this race, was battling with AJ Hyder, was up in the lead before that last caution came out. He's been falling like a rock since the drop of the previous green flag. And right now, I don't think things are getting much better. This is not what Barone needs right now. He's sitting in 7th. He doesn't have the grip to work with. And as it stands, he's got to be sitting there and possibly falling back even further if things don't turn around soon. Larry, it's going to be Dimitri Mundros, not Larry Miles. Dimitri Mundros was almost involved in that last caution. Passed it by inches. He seems to be very aggressive behind the wheel of that number 48 machine, but he's just not had the pace tonight. He's been outside the top 5 all race long, looking to turn it around. While that's going on, we have a battle for position, but JQMR to the inside. That's going to be on, not Madrid, that's going to be on Shady. As Madrid got around Shady the previous lap, Shady whips it around the outside to hold on to 5th place. But that tells me Shady is beginning to fall off there on those tires. He's losing front end grip on that race car. Back to my little review. How about Martin? If anyone's been close to crashing all night long, it has been Ryan Martin, as he did tap the wall just a tad. Almost wrecked the whole thing right there. As here's JQMR making another look on Shady. Has to choose to back out this time. But a close call there for Miles, or Martin I should say, as he just got passed by this man, Larry Miles. Quiet, consistent, that's the story of his season throughout GGR so far. Right now sitting in 9th, just got past. We haven't seen him up front all day, but watch out for him towards the end of this race. He's looking to make some noise. And that is your top 10 as it stands. However, it might very much change here soon. And there goes JQMR into the wall. Right, pushed it too hard. Almost got hit there by Acevedo as they're trying to traverse this crash. And there is JQMR done for the day. And that's the second crash we've seen coming out of turn 4. Got in that turbulent air, was trying to push to get around Shady. And unfortunately, just a little bit too much, pushed it a little bit too hard, lost enough front grip. I mean, he's in that turbulent air for the entire corner until right then and there, hits the wall. And from there, I mean, he's just a sitting duck. He's along for the ride. A horrific hit there for Pravin Vijaykumar. And again, as we were saying, I mean, he was doing a really good job, was battling for a top 5 spot before all that happened. Look in the back. That's Acevedo that almost, I think he hit the wall as well and almost spun it in the same exact place and almost got clipped there from Vijaykumar as he came back onto the racetrack. And unfortunately, that's going to kill his night. Here's another view. In that turbulent air for the entire corner and just lost it on exit. And not what you want to see there if you're Pravin Vijaykumar after having such a good race. With that, we are under caution once again on lap 72. So over over halfway here in this race. Ethan Workman leads, followed by Connor Trafari. Ethan Workman's in full control of this race right now. Nobody has done it better than him that's still running right now. The only person possible is Connor Trafari, but Connor is on that last run. Had no control at all. And let's see what the games are going to be down pit road. One, bring them all in, and no one chooses to stay out. Again, this is his race right now. No one is challenging him right now. Ethan is in. 4 tires going on, a splash of Shell Racing fuel. And he's out the door. And it's going to be a race between himself and Quentin Haley at the line. And an incredible stop for Quentin Haley, who jumps Connor Trafari in the pit lane and almost jumped Ethan Workman. Once again, this second half has been tremendous for Quentin Haley. He has been making great strategy calls, great on pit road, great on track. Everything is just going according to plan here for Quentin. He's put himself in a great position. As you can see, Connor cheesing a little bit, putting those left side tires in the grass, trying to put them up the temperature. And we will be going back green next time by on lap 75. So we'll be coming back here with 50 to go. And if you thought this race was already intense, you have not seen anything yet. Things are about to get a lot more crazy before the night's done. Oh, nice. Only now is my stream begin to take a shit. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, OBS. I love you so much. It's not like, normally this is fine before, and oh yeah, now you're choosing to do this now. Perfect. Alright. Stop streaming for a second. Let's see if that helps. We're going to go ahead and head back green here. It's going to be Ethan Workman's control. Here we go, and we're back underway.
Green, green, green.
And that was not a great start from Workman. Quentin Haley is all over him here. He'll be all over him going down into turn 2. Single file throughout most of the field, but that will not be that way for long. Quentin Haley looking low. Workman can't block it. Connor Trafari is jammed 3 wide. That's going to be Barone going from 4th to 1st as we head towards turn 3. An incredible move from Barone. And Ethan Workman falling like a rock. His control of the race is over. Contact between Trafari and Ethan Workman as they come to the start-finish line. It's going to be Barone, followed by Haley. Quentin Haley to the outside of Barone as they head towards turn 1. Haley on that outside, Barone trying to shut the door. And now crossover. Haley to the bottom. Heading into turn 2, side by side, cutting down the back. That's going to open the door for Madron. Madron's going to have a good opportunity here. All the way down to the bottom goes Ethan Workman. Whoa! Almost contact between Haley and Workman. An incredible move from Ethan Workman to recover from that bad start. Here comes Connor Trafari with a run on Workman, while Quinn Haley goes for the lead. Looking left, looking right. There goes Haley to the bottom with Barone up top. On that outside, Barone trying to hold it steady, but Haley's got the lead coming out of turn 2. Shutting the door, crossover move, there it is. That's going to be Barone going to the inside. That's going to be Trafari going to the outside. 3 wide for the lead as they head towards turn 3, and Trafari's got it. An incredible move from Connor Trafari to take the lead of this race on fresh tires and a lot of grip to work with. Now it's going to be Barone's turn to fight back. Barone's looking left, looking right. Barone goes inside Trafari as they head towards turn 1. Well, that goes on Workman, and that's going to be Quinn Haley fighting for 3rd place as Barone takes back the lead. Workman up to 3rd. Haley back to 4th. Here comes, that's going to be Dimitri Mundros for the first time tonight inside the top 5. We're going 3 wide, boys, with Shady and Madron. Madron moves up to 5th. Trafari outside there on Barone. Trafari trying to whip it around the outside. He's going to have the momentum coming out of turn 4. But here comes Ethan Workman, top to bottom. Ethan Workman with another incredible move. Down to the inside to turn 1. Going to slide up into Trafari. Trafari keeping it steady around the top. Almost contact near the back there as we're going 3 wide contact. Into the wall, more contact. There goes Quinn Haley. Into the air goes another car that is going to be into the wall. Goes Madron. Forgot the name for a second. So much was happening. Madron into the air, off the door of Quentin Haley. And that was bound to happen. The intensity of this race was getting so out of hand. Let's take another look here. Firstly, let's look at this down to 1. Look at this incredible move from Ethan Workman all the way down to the bottom. Trafari with the charge around the top. And out of the corner, watch this. A big dive there from Madron there on Quentin Haley. Nearly contact. It's a little loose on entry. Haley gives him the room. Shady is going to shove it in there. I mean, more contact there from Madron and Quentin Haley. I mean, he's just turning into him at this point. Around goes Haley and a big shunt there. A push there from Dimitri Mundros. Pretty much uses Quentin Haley as a ramp to make Madron fly into the air. And Quentin Haley trying to hold those brakes there right at the last second. And Madron was doing such a good job along with Quinn Haley and Dimitri Mundros, and all 3 of them with tore-up cars. That's pretty much over right there. I mean, you can't come back from that. Another catch fence hit as well. I believe that's either our 2nd or 3rd of the night. I've lost count at this point. And there were some pit stop games this time. As Shady chooses to stay out on the racetrack by himself. And everyone else chooses to come in, and that is... Is that Acevedo that came out in 1st off pit road? Yes, it is. An incredible stop there from Acevedo. Connor Trafari in 2nd. Followed by, there he is, Larry Miles, first time in the top 5. He's now up here. Jeff Acevedo now runs in second for the first time tonight. Connor Trafari currently runs in third, followed by Larry Miles, Ethan Workman, and then Barone right now sits in 6th place. And Aiden Smith has recovered from being 1 lap down to find himself now back in 7th place. So good recovery there from Aiden Smith. Or maybe he's still 1 lap down. I'm not entirely sure here. He might still be a lap down. I got my hopes up for a second. I do believe he might be 1 lap down. Indeed he is. We'll be coming back here on lap 83. So time is ticking, and we saw in that last restart that every driver is feeling the pressure. We started today with 27 cars. We only have 10 left on the lead lap. That's how hectic this race has been. It's still anyone's race to win within our top 10. And at this point, what do you pick? Do you pick track position or do you pick fuel strategy? Because right now, if these guys save enough, it's possible that they can make it. Remember our race data when we had the top of the show, that the estimated amount of time on tank of gas is 40. So we're right there on the cusp. If you can save enough, you can make it, which is what makes Shady's move to stay out so interesting. He's essentially banking on a yellow, which ain't a bad idea at all. But Shady ain't gonna back him out too much. He's gonna be right behind the pace truck and just gonna make the left-hand turn on the pit road. And there goes Shady. We are back underway. And there goes Acevedo down to the bottom, trying to snake. Connor in third. Single file down into turn 1, but the action's really gonna begin coming out of turn 2. And for the first time today, here comes Acevedo to the inside. Jeff Acevedo trying to go for the lead. Connor Trafari to the outside. We're going 3 wide again for the lead. As we head towards turn 3, Connor on the outside, Acevedo. And Connor's going to whip it around the outside on Jeff and take back the lead. But it's not over. Shady now on the move. Contact between the 65 and Shady. And that's going to cause Ethan Workman to go all the way down to the bottom, trying to get 4 in 1. It's Ethan Workman, and yes, he will get 4 in 1. Ethan Workman with another incredible move to move from 5th to 2nd in 1 straightaway. Shady down to 3rd. That's going to be Barone up to 4th. Now making a move here on Shady. And the snaking is really beginning to start as Connor Trafari's trying to get away from Ethan Workman. Connor's only foe all day long has been that GoDaddy machine of Ethan Workman. And you're seeing why. He's going all over the road. Here comes Shady coming back. Barone to the outside on Shady. Barone up to 3rd. Shady falling back on the old set of tires. And Workman knows. Look at the snaking by Connor Trafari all the way down below the white line. Workman is responding in kind, falling right in Connor's tire tracks. Tire tracks? What the hell did I just say? Tire tracks. I excuse my awful wordplay. Here comes Ethan coming out of turn 4. Here comes his chance. Connor can't snake that one. Ethan looking left, looking right. It's going to be outside this time. Using Connor at his own game, down to turn 1 as Barone tries to make it a 3-wide look. Ethan out of the groove just a tad, had the check up. Connor holds on to the lead, but Workman is all over him as we come out of turn 2. Connor again having to play defense. And to the inside goes Workman. This might be a little bit more favorable, but we've seen Connor on the outside make it work. But it's not going to happen this time. Ethan Workman back to the lead with less than 30 laps to go, or 40 laps to go, I should say. of the Indy 500. Here comes Connor with another move, this time to the outside, same games as before, but look at Connor pinching Workman down into turn 1. That's going to allow Connor to go around the outside and take back the lead of the GGR Indy 500. The top 3 beginning to pull away as Shady continues to hold off the rest of the field. Workman with a last-minute dive to the bottom. Workman wants the lead back, and he's got it into turn 3. Connor's going to be able to have a run coming out of 4 as long as he can keep that front nose clean. And look how close they're getting to the wall. It's getting desperate. Ethan Workman snaking left to right. Connor's forced to run the outside. Once again, same dance, different lap down to turn 1. Workman's gonna shut the door last second. Connor forced to stay in his tire tracks in all of that turbulent air as he comes out of turn 2. From the left to the right, here comes Connor. Now to the outside. Wheel to wheel into turn 4. And this time, Connor's going to be able to pinch just fine between the two. We'll see how things fare into turn 4. Workman on the bottom. Trafari up top. Workman trying to shut the door, but not this time. And this is a prime opportunity for Barone to have a huge run. So much dirty air for Barone to traverse. He's forced to check up so much down into these corners. It's a duel between Workman and Trafari for the win of this race. Again, the run's coming this time, and now Workman's playing Trafari, same game, snaking all the way to the grass to the wall. Workman able to hold off Trafari this time as they go down into turn 3. Trafari's gonna have a good chance to pull a crossover, but wasn't able to make it stick. Down the straight, Trafari a little bit closer. Workman snaking again, forcing Trafari to the longer way round. And Barone is not making any attempt to get close as they're mere inches apart. Very dangerous stuff between Workman and Trafari. Now let's go on board with Trafari and see what he's seeing. And again, Workman with incredible defense, cutting him off. Here comes Connor again. And here comes Barone, 3 wide, going for the lead. An incredible move from Barone to take the lead of this race. He's going to shut that door on Connor Trafari as Ethan Workman had a horrendous turn 4. And that was an incredible move by Barone, biding his time, waiting for them to stall each other out, and he went for the attack. And Connor can't fight this time. Barone has to sit station. Connor trying to make something happen on the outside, but he's a little too out of the groove. And for the first time today, Ryan Barone takes back the lead, but not for long. Here comes Trafari back on the bottom. And no contest. Connor Trafari takes back the lead, but Ryan's going to have a shot at him here coming out of turn 2. Connor with his moves. Ryan chooses not to snake with him. He wants to try to keep his momentum, but he did not gain anything on Connor that time. Ethan Workman's back on him here for second. As we're coming up on lap 100 of 125, 25 laps to go. It's a 3-man dance for the win right now. Connor Trafari, Ryan Barone, and Ethan Workman. And now that Connor's in control of this race, you're seeing that he's beginning to pull away. Ryan Barone is not able to handle the turbulent air as well as Ethan Workman can. That's why you're seeing him trying to go back for second to the inside. For second into turn 3, and no contest. Ryan doesn't even fight that one. He's going to give it up to Ethan Workman. And now Ethan can set his sights after Connor Trifari once again. Well, we set up for that incredible finish in the back. Shady holds on the 4th. Larry Miles right now in 5th. Acevedo in 6th, followed by Kame in 7th. Remember earlier, Kame was involved in that accident with AJ Hyder. They got that car repaired and back on the track in 7th place. An incredible run from Kame, all things considered. Right now, Kennedy for the first time today inside the top 10 in 8th. Foss right now in 9th, and Bradley Sawinski. He has a bit of a shit box at the moment after getting involved in that wreck with Hyder, but he is solving a top 10 day, and it's pretty impressive, all things considered. And into the pit lane, a strategy call from Barone. He's in. First one of our leaders. And that asks the question, when will we see everyone else coming in? We're definitely getting later on the run. Tires are beginning to screech for grip, and people are beginning to get spread out. Even some must have a Larry Miles, because Shady is pulled away from Larry. Ethan Workman closing in here on Connor Trifari. But every time he's too much in that turbulent air. Let's go on more with him now. I want you guys to just see the difference. Just look how that car is dragging up the racetrack, how much he has to lift. He's using a lot more wheel, too. He's really trying to stay in Connor's tire tracks. And you could just tell Connor is pushing it right now. Look how close he's getting to the wall, even in clean air. Right now, we're at a boring point here in the race where not a lot is going on. The 65 of Acevedo is in as well. And there is Barone, right now sitting one lap down. And Workman is just in a position where the tires just aren't really playing nice with him right now. He really can't make a charge because he can't get close to Trifari. Now, these guys do have to pit one more time, and keep in mind, that is a big factor. I'm assuming, based on the fact we've already seen 2 people come down pit road, that that will be the case before the checkered flag. That's all going to become when you choose to do it. The longer that you wait, and here comes Connor and Ethan Workman. They're both coming in. Workman chooses last second to stay out. Made Connor think he was coming in. Along with that, that is going to be Kennedy coming in as well. And this is where the strategy begins. How long do you stay out if you're Ethan Workman? The longer that you stay out, the less fuel you have to take on your final pit stop, the fresher tires you will have, the longer life that you will have. However long you choose to stay out will make the difference. Ethan's in after 1 lap. And that will cycle the lead back over to Shady. The fact that Shady has been out here so long is impressive considering he stayed out under that last caution. And he can stay out even longer if he wants to, because he's going to have to drag here from Kennedy to use as a little bit of a pick. Only problem is now he's going to get his dirty air too. Just out of curiosity, is that Wayne? No, it's Blake. The uncool Kennedy, I see. There's Connor Trafari, and that is going to be Barone that's ahead of him on the track. That is unfortunately not the battle for the win. I do believe Barone is still 1 lap down. I guess we'll find out this time. But Barone right now holding Connor up. And look at the gap between Trafari and Workman after just 1 lap. And yes, Barone is still 1 lap down. He had a longer pit stop, possibly a penalty that he had to address. And with that, Trafari is the favorite to win this race unless any pit strategy shenanigans are to occur. Right now, Shady continues to lead this race. Over Larry Miles by 2 seconds. Kame right now in 3rd, Foss in 4th. Bradley Sawinski is somehow holding on to a 5th place position, but it won't be that way for long as Connor Trafari closes in. And that is Barone racing Connor Trafari out on the track right now. As a lapper, you gotta love it. Under 25 laps to go here at the GGR Circle K Indy 500K. Connor Trafari is in the net lead of this race. Right now, Shady leads it, but we're still waiting on drivers to come in and stop. As we have a driver that does come in, that is going to be Foss. Or I'm sorry, that is Kame, my apologies. Foss is still out on the racetrack. And Connor is closing in here on Bradley Sawinski. As again, that is going to be Barone making looks to the bottom. And the reason why he's doing that is because he wants to get his lap back in the event of a caution. Connor will be the net leader when everyone stops. He'd like to be ahead of him by the time that that happens. And this draft is actually really helping him as now Trafari approaches the back of Bradley Sawinski to the outside. Bradley's not going to make up any excuse to hold him up. He's just going to get out of the way. And back up into the top 5 goes Connor Trafari. And into the pits goes Shady. Kame is also in. That leaves just a few, including Larry Miles. Very quiet all day. 20 laps to go. I don't think he has 20 laps in the tank, but you never know. And this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about with Larry, where he is quiet all day and finds himself in the right position at the right time at the end. Him and Foss are the only ones that have yet to stop. There's Foss there. After that, it is Connor Trafari leading. Then it's Bradley Sawinski, but it won't be that way for long. Ethan Workman is on the scene. Larry Miles continues to stay out on the racetrack. And here comes the battle here for 4th place. Ethan Workman approaching Bradley Sawinski, coming out of turn 4. To the inside goes Ethan, and this will be an easy pass. Bradley is dealing with a damaged race car. He's just trying to hurdle it home. Ethan Workman up to 4th. Next up is Connor. The problem is he's 3 seconds up the road with less than 20 laps to go. And I do believe Connor has clean air. Yes, he does. Larry continuing to stay out on the racetrack. Now, he does have 25 seconds between himself and Connor Trafari. So there's a lot of opportunity to save here. He can kill over a second a lap if he wants to. But it doesn't look like he's giving up much time. It's still within that 25-second mark. As down pit road comes Foster from 2nd place, and that is going to leave 1. As Bradley Sawinski also comes in. 1 driver left, Larry Miles. Again, continuing to stay out. He is banking on either one of the best pit strategies I have ever seen, or he's banking on a funny yellow to come out right about now. And he's not saving. He's not saving at all. He is right now still, just now, Trafari just hit the 24-second mark. If I'm Miles right now, if you think that you can make it, I'd be backing it down. And that's exactly what he's doing now. Just gain half a second that last lap now. Here comes Larry. Larry's coming into the pits. A long drive down the pit lane. Here comes Connor. I almost thought Connor spun it right there. I'm gonna be for real. Now Larry can splash and go right here. But that's not even gonna matter. Or will.
All right, man.
Caution's down the speedway! It's not over! Oh my goodness. It's Ethan Workman. Connor's main rival throughout the second half of this race, and it is over for Ethan Workman. And that car is totaled. What happened? Oh my goodness. So Bradley Sawinski was coming out of the pit lane. Remember, Bradley has a damaged car. And what happens here? Does Ethan just turn himself? And into the catch fence. Another catch fence hit. And this time it is going to be Bradley Sawinski on top of the wall. And I'm going to have to get an onboard here. With Ethan. Well, not Ethan. But with Bradley Sawinski. I want to... What in the hell? So let's see what's going on here on board with Bradley Sawinski. And does Ethan Workman just turn himself? He just turns himself. Unbelievable. That is a really embarrassing way to end that race for Ethan Workman. Dominated a good chunk of the day, was competing for the win. Bad pit stop, and then ending it off by turning yourself into somebody and putting yourself up into the catch fence. So that's an unfortunate way to end it, but that has created a really fun scenario to where these guys are going to be racing for the win. It's crazy to think if Larry just stayed out one more lap, that would have changed the entire complexion of this race. Although, if you're Larry, now you're in second right behind Connor. This is going to be an exciting finish here, folks. It is not over. And now it decided to do that. Fantastic. All right, chat, for like the 4 people watching at home. Oh, I'm so sorry, 6. Gavin, my favorite bisexual Twitch streamer. We've been over this. I'm not gay. Why do people keep saying that? And it appears Foss has stayed out on the racetrack to take the lead of this race. And look how many cars we have left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have one more. Barone's coming over, along with Aiden Smith and Kennedy. That's going to give us about, what, 9 cars left? Oh, boy. 9 cars to settle it after 125 laps of action. And it's all going to come down to this. They are not going to give this to Connor easy, that's for sure. We'll be coming back with 11 to go. The action is going to become unreal. Foss, for the first time tonight, is leading this race with a ballsy strategy call. In second is Connor Trafari, who's led the majority of the day. Larry Miles in a position to win, along with Shady, Kame, Barone, Kennedy, Workman, and Aiden Smith. I apologize. Workman's a lap down. Smith is 2 laps down. And Sawinski, they will not be a factor here in this finish. It's going to be down to the top 7 cars. And it is time to settle it. Foss, Trafari, Miles, your top 3. But any single one of these 7 that are still in contention could steal one right here, right now. 11 to go here at the GGR Indy 500K. We're back underway. And that was a great start by Connor Trafari. He's on him to the inside, going towards turn 1. Trafari and Foss go at it. Foss stays high. Trafari moves up the second. Larry Miles with the dive into turn 2 for second. Barone gets past Kennedy for 6th. Now the snaking begins down the back straightaway as we head towards turn 3. Foss continuing to fall back. Sheedy gets by. Next is going to be Kame. Now next up is going to be Aiden Smith. And now they are wing to wing to wing. Here comes Shady. Here comes Miles. Shady down to the bottom. Almost contact. He's getting blocked every which way. Down to the bottom. 3 wide. Down to turn 1 with 10 to go. Shady had to back out of it. An aggressive move there by Shady to block Kame as they go through turn 2. Here comes Larry Miles with the run down the back. To the inside as Trafari protects the top. Larry Miles eking ahead and to the lead, going into turn 3. Trafari with the crossover as they head towards turn 4. Larry trying to shut the door, but Trafari shoves the wing in there. Side by side coming out of turn 4 as we come to 9 to go. And Shady's going to have a good run here down this front straightaway to get closer to Miles and Trafari as they go side by side into turn 1. Trafari takes back the lead. And watch out for Kame in the 20 and 4th. He has been silent all day long, and he's in contention for this thing. Again, snaking continues. Connor is in the grass just slightly. Here comes Miles up to the top. Going down to turn 3. Trafari and Miles. Miles now playing Trafari's game into turn 4, trying to pinch the 9 car down. Watch out for Shady. Shady's going to have an opportunity to make it 3 wide, but where will he go? He's going to choose the middle. 8 to go, and we're going 3 wide for the lead. Heading towards 1. Contact between Shady and Trafari. Miles down to the bottom, almost contact again. Shady's all over the road. I think that they got away with that unscathed. That could have been incredibly dangerous. Here comes Shady to the top on Miles, side by side for second. That's Barone that got around Fame, and now he's trying to get around him for fourth. Coming to lap 119, here comes Miles again with a run. Trafari protecting the bottom, Miles to the top. Barone continuing his charge. This time, it's going to be on Shady for third. Came down to fifth. Trafari protects the lead from Larry Miles on this occasion, but Miles is going to have yet another run coming out of turn 2. To the inside, trying to get to the inside there on Trafari, but Trafari won't let him at it. Side by side into turn 3. Coming to lap 120, that is going to be Barone to the dive to the inside for third place. That's going to allow Kame to have another run at it, while Kennedy watches on, side by side for the lead between Larry Miles and Connor Trafari as we start lap 120, 6 laps to go. And as this run goes on, the tires begin to wear and dirty air becomes a bigger problem. That's why it's so important for Larry Miles to get this move done now. Larry Miles looking high again, but he's not going to choose of it. Connor Trafari feeding him all that dirty air. As we come up to 5 laps to go here at the Indy 500K. Trafari is going to protect the bottom, Miles with the advantage up top. Larry will have the nose in there into turn 1. This is going to give Shady another opportunity if he can keep the nose in there. Even wheel to wheel going into turn 2 as they head towards the back straightaway. Larry Miles eking ahead over Connor Trafari. Larry Miles for the first time eking ahead. Trafari fighting hard down on the bottom. And Shady trying to find a way through. Here comes Shady's chance. Here we go. Larry getting in line behind Trafari. Shady to the outside. Miles contact! And there goes Shady, and there goes Miles. A huge, nasty accident down the front straightaway. And it's over for Larry Miles and for Shady as Shady is upside down. My. An awful accident once again. And does that end this race under caution? Look at this move. I mean, Larry just comes up like Shady isn't there. Call Shady's move aggressive all you want. Shady was there, pinching you down. And he came up like he wasn't there. And unfortunately, for the both of them, their race is over. Great defense there by Connor Trafari as well, to hold both of them off and putting Larry Miles in that kind of position. And really, at this point, who's left? Watch this. You already know what I'm about to do. Wait for it. Oh my God. And it's possible that's going to make this race end under yellow. I don't know whether this race has overtimes or not. But we do have people pitting. So we'll see here whether we can get a green flag finish. Trying to see whether we got one or not. We might not. I'm not really too sure. I guess we're about to find out. I mean, we did have some guys pit. So it's possible that we are going to have an overtime attempt to settle it. So let's look through who's left. Connor Trafari leads it, has dominated most of the day. And an incredible defense on that restart is putting him in this position. How about this man in second right here? Anthony Foss in second right now. An incredible run by him. Barone is right now sitting. Actually, that's not. That's him. That's 23 laps down. That's Acevedo still trying to win this thing. There is Ryan Barone in third. He has been leading a lot of laps today, but whenever the strategy isn't going his way, he's really feeling the pressure and falling back. Right behind him, Kennedy is sitting in fourth. Blake Kennedy. He has been silent all day long, has not been up front once. How insane would it be if he were to win this race? And lights are on the pace car. We're going to try it. We are going to have an overtime. Someone just blew up. That might have been Larry. It was Larry. Larry tried to bring it back out onto the track and it blew up. And finally, how about in fifth place, Ryan Kame. Almost got involved in that too. And with that, those are the 5 drivers in contention for this win. And we are going to have an overtime finish to settle it. And Connor is backing them up. If Connor can get the perfect restart, like what AJ had earlier in the race, and just get away from everybody, no one will have an even chance to catch him. It's going to be all about whether Anthony Foss can get a perfect restart. He is really backing the field up. It's on him. Wait for it. And he's gone. And look at the jump as Foss does not get going.
Green, green, green.
It's possible that Barone will get a penalty for passing Foss. But the race is on now with 2 laps to go. They're all fighting for position. That's Kennedy down the bottom. They're all fighting for second now as Connor Trafari has gotten that perfect restart he was looking for. We're going 3-1 for second. Contact between Kennedy. Kennedy and Kame get together down into turn 3. As we are coming up on the white flag, Connor Trafari is up and ahead. Unless Barone can get the perfect run here down these 2 straightaways, it'll be over. Last lap of the race. What an incredible run by Connor Trafari today. Nearly perfect. And as they fight for second, Barone and Kame are going to go at it all the way to the checker flag while Kennedy has toe damage. Contact into the wall. On the final lap goes Kame as Barone shoves him into it. And coming to the start-finish line, Connor Trafari is going to win the Circle K Indy 500K. An incredible triumph here for Connor Trafari. And what else is there to say? Connor Trafari with another perfect day. Had a little bit of help from the fact AJ got wrecked earlier, but was able to bring it home for the victory. And he's going to go ahead and burn it down here on the front straightaway. And while he does that, let's take a look at the finishing results. After an incredible night of action. Connor Trafari is going to win the 4th annual Circle K Indy 500K here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ryan Barone brings it home 2nd. Blake Kennedy in 3rd. Anthony Foss in 4th. Ryan Kame in 5th. Aiden Smith in 6th. Larry Miles in 7th. Slim Shady in 8th. Ethan Workman in 9th, followed by Bradley Sawinski in 10th. Then it's going to be Jeff Acevedo in 11th, followed by Quentin Haley, Jordan Mandarin. Then it's going to be Madrin. That's going to be Dimitri Mundros, Ryan Martin, Pravan Vijaykumar, Garrett A. White, AJ Hyder, Ethan Harrison, and Chase Gibbons, rounding out the top 20. Looking through the rest of the field now. If it works, let's see if it works. Does it work? Do you guys have working page stuff? Yes, you do. It's going to be Brazen Collins in 21st, followed by Robert Eckelberry, Brandon Thomas, Jackson Dabari, then Henry Clapper, Nicholas Budimlik, Wesley Hayes, Jack Leslie, and Matthias Marcomini, rounding out the field. And with that, I think it's time that we talk to our race winner. But let me go grab him first. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. And we are back here with our winner, Connor Trafari. After an incredible run all night long, had a little bit of help from the fact AJ wrecked earlier, but nonetheless was able to get it done. Connor, are you with me? Connor, you had not a great qualifying effort, admittedly, but you made quick work through the field. At first, I want to ask you, how was the racing out there that tonight? Because you had to do a lot of it. And when it came to your battles with people like Barone and Workman, can you tell me how important it was to stay in control of the lead during all of those battles?
Oh no, like 3 or 4 tenths ahead.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the question again, and you're gonna tell me the answer because I had you muted the entire time. Anyway, all right.
Wow.
So here,
okay,
tell me
wow.
about. So here, let's pretend that first question. When it came to the racing with Workman today, how was it going?
Wait.
So I'm just saying what you were saying before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was really fun. Because we would just go back and forth, maybe even going too wide throughout the entire track until one of us kind of got in the clean air, and then the other had dirty air, you know. And then at that point, it was just kind of like a just traditional IndyCar race. So.
And when it comes to your win here tonight, how does it feel to get it done? You get $100 win with that. I'm pretty sure you get $100.
100? Wait, it's 100? I thought it was 50.
It might be 50. I might be wrong.
Oh, it is 50. It is 50.
Never mind, I'm wrong. Of course I'm wrong. Anyway.
I'll still take that, though.
Hey, but how do you feel about winning this race, especially considering you had a lot of competition, especially with that overtime restart?
Yeah, I would definitely take it. gives me a little redemption from the sack 500 that I kind of choked away there. But yeah, I'll definitely take it. The Green White Checker scared me a little bit because I think I had it on Lux. I was a little short on fuel, but I think I could have saved that very, very easily without losing the lead. But I just want to give a shout out to I don't know what his name. I think it's Anthony Foss. I don't know how you say Foss.
It's Foss.
But I just want to give him a shout out for sleeping on the restart, man. That gave me the win because they weren't close enough in my draft range
like,
to get a big run.
Shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, he just swerved right into him in a turn 3 on the final lap and just wrecked his shit. But
yeah, yeah, I credit them for fighting each other and not trying to come after me. So, gave me the win.
All right, well, Connor, I'm going to go ahead and let you go here, buddy. Congratulations on your win. He is your 4th annual Circle K Indy 500K winner. Congratulations, Connor.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
And with that, that's where we're going to be rounding it up here for tonight's broadcast. Thank you all for joining me for the GGR Indy 500K event. I'm going to be honest, this was not my best work. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm an honest man. You know, I'm an honest man. But, hey, if you'd like to see more, you guys can go ahead and check over SAC. I'm going to be streaming all their races this season, or at least most of them. And I am the full-time streamer and board director of ASCA. So if you want to see a little bit better commentary, you guys can head on over